welcome everybody to this week's Market Share, the short weekly segment brought to you by MKR, where we bring you all the noteworthy news and updates surrounding digital media and the world today. I'm your host Genevieve, and we've got some great stories for you today, so let's get started. First up this week, Nielsen has invested $16 million into better understanding the viewing habits of more than 900 streaming services and publishers. Nielsen has entered a partnership with TVision to best understand audiences who are not traditionally part of a Nielsen household. As more and more viewers go streaming, only Nielsen has struggled to help advertisers understand just where those TV viewing eyeballs are pointed. TVision uses facial recognition technology combined with automated content recognition technology to help understand how many people are watching shows and ads inside a household, and if they're paying attention to the screen at any given moment. TVision currently surveys a similar number of households to those Nielsen does, but expects to be able to potentially expand their survey numbers with this newfound windfall. This partnership should allow advertisers to gain a deepened understanding of not just pure audience numbers, but also just how attentive their audiences are. Second this week, as 2022 comes charging to an end, we're getting a look at just how many audience members are using the myriad and many streaming services available to us. These numbers might not yet mean much to advertisers, but as more and more services consider low-cost ad-supported pricing tiers, these numbers become far more interesting to the industry. Among the most notable, Netflix, which is reportedly releasing its own ad-supported tier in the near future, reported 223 million global streamers, which is the first increase in subscribers this year. Disney Plus's ad-supported tier releases on December 8th and comes with an impressive 164 million global subscribers. Warner Bros. Discovery combines their subscriber numbers between their HBO Max service as well as their Discovery Plus, states that they have nearly 95 million total subscribers. All of these numbers are nice, but don't mean much until advertisers can access them. Each subscription service has seemingly found a content niche that meets specific audience interests, which should lead to advertisers being able to connect with those specific audiences. Next up, the relationships between brands and merchants who have created their own ad networks appear to be growing more fraught. More and more brick-and-mortar as well as e-commerce merchants have quickly developed ad networks available to the brands whose products they sell. This seemingly makes a tremendous amount of sense for those brands, as the merchants have a plethora of first-party shopping data in a time when that first-party data is growing more and more scarce. Brands also get the peace of mind that their ads aren't going to be shown next to this week's most inane conspiracy theory, or worse, hate speech, as social media advertising becomes more fraught as well. As good as all of that sounds, brands are becoming more disenfranchised by these ad networks that often don't provide the same level of analytics and data as they've become accustomed to, often providing less information on the age-old question of, did this ad work? There can also be a lack of inventory on these sites, which drives competition, good for retailers, and drives up ad buy prices for brands. In a time when many brands are tightening their belts, these rising costs could be the final straw that moves brands out of these ad platforms and into other channels, which will also create more competition for said inventory. The final few months of the year may come with real challenges for brands to face in these advertising spaces. Finally this week, Pop Tarts has launched a brand partnership with Zillow. And if you had that pairing on your bingo card, I'll mail you a crisp $1 bill. The toaster behemoth has partnered with the site we all love to check when we're looking to move or just want to see how much that place costs. Pop Tarts created the Pop Tarts Gingerbread Lodge model that lets you see just how crafty you can be with a few packages, and Zillow created a listing for the house just like you'd see for any other. This 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 35 square foot slice of caloric heaven comes with a build-your-own call to action that leads to a contest that lets you show off just how clever you can be building your own and possibly win $15,000 for your efforts. This kind of brand partnership is gathering a lot of attention, mostly because of how unusual it is, and that kind of thinking is definitely worth whatever they invested into it. We're looking forward to seeing these toaster strudel townhomes in the next few weeks. That's all for this week's Market Share. My name's Genevieve, and I'll see you all next week. Only Nielsen has struggled? Good for retailers and drives up at, sorry,